I don't know, man. I just don't know. Sometimes I just don't know. So last night, I saw this movie. But before we get to this movie, welcome back to another movie review on Spliff Talk, soon to be called Spliff Gaming and Movies. Once I get to it. Today we're going to talk about this movie that I saw on Netflix last night called The Power of the Dog. You got Benedict Cumberbatch in it, Kristen Dustin, a new kid named Cody, and Jesse, who plays Mr. Burbank, the brother. In this movie, it's about Benedict playing the brother of Jesse, who's Mr. Burbank, and they're both ranchers, right? One is more of a businessman, the other one is the one who gets his hands dirty. That's Benedict, right? And in this movie, there's this charismatic character with kind of like a chip on his shoulder throughout the whole movie. And this movie had me kind of confused from the beginning. Took me a minute to finally understand what was actually going on. Honestly, I didn't really get it towards the end. But like in all my videos, we're going to talk how good the movie is, and then at the end, some spoiler stuff that I want to talk about that was in the movie. So, first things first. What to say? Well, first things, acting was great. And throughout this whole movie, acting was great. The scenes that were shot were fantastic. On and on. Before I talk about what the movie's about, I give the movie 4.5. 4.5. Straight up. Pretty good. It's a Western movie. I love Western movies, cowboy movies. I like all types of movies, so you'll see me talk about all types. But in this movie, like I said, Benedict plays this rancher who has a chip on his shoulder, and his brother, played by Jesse, Mr. Burbank, decides to get married to Kristen Dustin's character, who's a widow with a teenage son who's a little bit weird. Like, he's one of those weird kids who's not like the typical macho cowboy kid. He's kind of dark. He's into himself, reserved. He's into his studies in medical field, and he also likes to make arts and crafts. And they kind of make fun of him, thinking that he's a faggot, calling him a sissy because of the way he walks, things like that. Honestly, in the movie, it doesn't really say out, it's not blunt enough to tell you whether the kid is gay or not throughout the movie, but you kind of get hints that he is. And Benedict's character is bitter that his brother got married. He thinks he's gonna get taken advantage of, blah blah blah. So he kind of acts like an asshole throughout the whole movie, picking on Kristen Dustin's character, while at the same time trying to build a relationship with the teenage son to kind of like take him under his wing or something like that. And basically the movie is just that. It's like this whole toxic, dark, mysterious relationship going on, like between the relationships between these characters. And it's a 2-hour long movie, so if you're into like good storytelling and kind of like a little bit of mystery and creepiness, you should definitely watch this movie. I felt like it was a pretty good movie in terms of drama, but at the same time, the reason it doesn't get that full 5 points and only gets that 4.5 is because I felt like they could have helped the audience a little bit more with figuring out what was going on. I feel like it's kind of like a psychological movie in a way, because you kind of have to based off how people are portraying their characters and the way they're acting in the movie, you kind of have to figure out for yourself what's really going on, you know? So, movie's pretty good. Like I said, you got a lot of good actors in it. Benedict Cumberbatch, Kristen Dunst, Jesse is a pretty good actor too. I've seen him in other movies. And definitely a must watch on Netflix. Definitely a good movie to watch. So, before I tell you anything about the movie that's considered spoiling it, let me give you like 3 seconds while I smoke this to get off my video. Unless you're one of those people that doesn't care about being spoiled. I care about being spoiled. I don't watch videos on YouTube on purpose just to not be spoiled. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Give you a chance. So, what can I say? You know, Benedict's character, I really liked him. He had kind of like a bitterness, but at the same time, he, you know, you can kind of sympathize a little bit with him. You kind of see this whole misunderstood type of vibe. He feels alone. And I feel like the title, the reason it's called The Power of the Dog is because there's a scene in the movie where Benedict's character looks at the hills and he sees something. Everybody sees normal hills, but he sees the shape of a dog. And when he points it out to the kid figures out real quick that it's a dog, right? And it's kind of has this meaning of like, you know, his character may be a rancher who's dirty, who likes working with his hands, like skinning cows. And he seems ruthless and very individualistic, opinionated. But he also has a vision. Like he sees past the horizon. He feels some type of sense of purpose, I'm assuming. But the relationship between him and Kristen Dunst's character was very weird. I didn't understand what was really going on with them. I felt like maybe secretly he was like the kid's father, but then the kid talks about how his father was a drunk who hung himself. You know, because Cumberbatch's character seems to know a lot of things about his mom, especially how like she was drinking, and then he like creeps around and follows her, watching her, torturing her with his like presence, just like whistling and annoying her. And she seems very distraught about him, which is very weird. And you think that he's gonna have this relationship with this kid. Cody, he plays this kid named Peter, which is kind of funny because when you see Kristen in this movie, the way she says Peter is like, Peter! You know you miss being in those Spider-Man movies. She was like, Peter. Peter! It's like she wants people to know that she misses, you know, being Mary Jane. But yeah, she has a weird relationship with her son, like very protective, but at the same time, like she's very anal about letting him be near Benedict's character. And then like this kid, there's something off about him throughout the whole movie. You're trying to figure it out. And then at the end, when Benedict's character dies, you find out that the way he died was because when Kristen Dunst's character sold all his hides that, you know, he personally collects for his own personal reasons, the kid offers him to use the hides that he's been collecting because he tends to dissect animals and, you know, and work with them. But there's a hidden kind of like a rule, medical rule. You're not supposed to deal with dead animals because of anthrax, right? Diseased animals. And lo and behold, you find out that Benedict's character uses the kid's hide that he offers him to protect his mom from Benedict's wrath after he finds out that she gives away the hides. You find out that he dies from having contact with the hides that he cut off a dead cow, which he purposely handled with his gloves. And at the end, it's hinting at the fact that the kid did it on purpose to kill Benedict's character so that his mom may have happiness. Then you kind of think back to the story when he talks about his dad. The way he talks about his dad makes you kind of think, yo, what if this nigga killed his dad because of the way that he was treating his mom and stuff? What if the reason throughout the whole movie he's unfazed by the fact that all the other cowboys call him a faggot and a sissy is because that nigga is a fucking sociopath, bro? Because the way, like, you don't even think, you think that they're actually having a good relationship, but the fact that he gives him the hides knowing that it was going to give him disease that was going to kill him. But then again, Benedict's character was kind of trying to put a wedge between him and his mom because he thinks his mom is raising him to be a sissy boy. It's a very interesting movie. Very interesting movie. I would love to have a discussion about it with someone. But if you watch the movie and you want to state your opinion, go ahead, comment in the comments below. Let me know. I got my email. I like talking about these things because that movie was very intriguing. That's why even though it was a little bit confusing, I still give it a 4.5 because it was good. It kept you, kept you interested in everything, trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Very good storytelling. That's all I got for you folks. Check out the movie, The Power of the Dog. Dog Eat Dog World. It's a dog eat dog world. Even though we wish it wasn't. But thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like. See you on the next one. Peace out.